I am Krishna Rao Patro. Today we'll discuss about one of the problem related to how to convert infix to postfix expression. So most of the time, a regular question they are asking in exam, that is how to convert an infix expression to postfix expression. And see, expression can be represented in three ways. I hope you know. In fixed form, first is the infix form. Infix form means what? Where operator will be in the middle. Assume I will write here a plus b. That is the infix expression. And the corresponding postfix expression is, because in the postfix, operator will come last. So a, b plus. Operator will become in the last. Of course, there is one more conversion also there. You can convert from infix to prefix also. So in the prefix, the operator will come in the beginning. That means I can write plus a, b. So this is the way. But here our question is what? You have to write a program to convert infix expression to postfix. So how to write a program for this? And what type of data structure you have to use to solve this problem? Because this is one of the very common question and important question also. As well as it is useful for many applications. The input is given in this form, that is in the infix form. Now you have to get the corresponding output in postfix form. Okay, so now they may ask a question, what type of data structure required to solve this problem? The data structure required to solve this problem is stack. So remember, whenever they are asking this question, they may ask how you can solve this problem. So I will explain how you can solve this problem with the help of the stack. Here, why do you need stack? Because in a infix expression, there will be set of operator as well as operands. So while converting from infix to postfix, you have to decide which operator will come first, which will next. So those operator precedency you know already. So based on the operator precedency, it will come first. So to come out with the output, you have to take the help of stack. So stack will help you to convert from infix to postfix. So to write this program, I will write a class, because I will be solving this problem using Python. So in Python, I will be solving with the help of the object-oriented concept. So in object-oriented concept, you would write a keyword called class first. So inside the class, you would write your operations. I write a class called conversion, and here I'll pass my capacity. What is the maximum capacity you can handle? And initially, because in the stack there is a special indicator called top. Initially, the top will be -1. The top indicates where exactly you have to do either push or pop operation. That is the indicator. So initially top is -1. So it says that you are still not started. And how to implement stack? To implement stack, you have to take the help of the array. You take the help of array. Of course, in Python, we'll say that is nothing but you are implementing array with the help of the list. So there is a built-in data structure called list. The list is behaving like a array. So take a array, and the output will be coming again in a string form. That string form also you can represent in a list. That is nothing but an array. So that means you are taking two array, as well as you have to maintain the precedency of the operator. So what are the operators you are going to use in the expression? You have to specify. And which having high priority, which having low priority, everything can be mentioned through a precedency information. So you can maintain a dictionary, plus having 1, minus having -1. That means these two having equal priority. Then multiplication and division having priority 2. And the exponential, that means the cap symbol, exponential having priority 3. So that means plus minus priority 1, multiplication and division priority 2, and your exponential having 3. So that means while writing the expression, I will use these symbols, these operators. Fine. Generally in Python, how will you write? A plus B double star C. That is in Python expression. But while giving input, I will not give in this way. So whenever double star comes, I will write like this: A plus B cap C. So the cap is equivalent to my exponential. Fine. So these are my required operators I am going to use in my program. So whatever the operators you are going to use, those things you have to mention here. So automatically based upon their priority, it will come. Fine. Next, you need some more additional methods to do this operation. First, I will check whether stack is empty or not. If it is empty, return -1, means return true, otherwise return false. For that, I wrote a small method called is empty, whether my stack is empty or not. If it is empty, return true, otherwise return false. Similarly, I want to see the top element of the stack. So which element available at the top of the stack? Because here to know the top element, how will you know? Because in Python, -1 indicates always the last position of the stack, but array or list. So that's why array of -1 that gives you top element of the stack. Remember, 0 starts from beginning of the stack. 0, 1, 2, 3. When I say -1, it comes from the reverse order. So -1 gives you the top of the stack. So whenever you want to get the top of the stack, write this way. Similarly, pop. In the pop also, you can write which element you want to pop out. Now, whenever you want to pop out, wherever the top is there, that element you have to pop out. Fine. So at the top, whatever element is there, you can pop out. There is a method called pop method, so you can call this pop. Similarly, push. So whenever you want to push the operator, you can call the push method. So it will be pushed at the top of the stack. So for that, you can write the append method. I think you know in Python, there are two standard methods, append and pop. Append means it will push in the stack, and pop means it will remove from the stack. Similarly, whether whatever the input you are giving, that is operand or not, for that you can write these two. And while pushing the data, you have to check whether they are having priority greater or not. If it is not greater, do something else. Do something. So for that, I am checking precedency of the incoming operator as well as top of the stack. If at all you are having incoming operator having high priority, that will push. If it is not greater, in that case pop. So you have to pop out and put into the output string. So for that, this method you have to write. So these are the required methods you have to use. Now, main method you are infix to postfix. While converting from infix to postfix, you have to take every symbol or every character of the input expression or infix expression. Take every expression, means input. Check whether it is operand or not. If it is operand, directly put into the output. Only whenever there is operator comes, there you have to check whether your priority is more or less. So again, sometime there may be open parenthesis and close parenthesis. If at all open parenthesis is there, directly push it. And whenever close parenthesis is there, you have to pop out. How long you have to pop out? Until the opening parenthesis comes. So for that, these two conditions you wrote. Fine. So this you have to process until you reach this either less or equal. So this process is continuing. And whenever you reach end of the expression, but still in the stack there are some more elements. If stack is still not empty, then pop out one by one. If it is empty, stop it. If it is not empty, pop out from your stack and push into the output. So finally, all the output array combine into a single one, so that you will get a single string, because it is there in the array. This array you have to convert it. Okay. Now this driver program, this is my given expression. This is my infix, and call this conversion, because here how many elements are there, means the combination of operators as well as operand that I am passing, because in the class you wrote already capacity. So based on the capacity, it has to allocate the memory. So pass this one and then call the infix to postfix. So if you execute this, then you will get the output. This is my input, this is my output. Right? let us go to idle environment where you can type the program. Till now you have seen the only explanation. Now let us go to our idle environment where you can type the program and execute. Yeah. Now you got your idle environment. Here I will open my file, a new file. So in the new file, I will type my complete program. First of all, you have to design a class. The class called conversion. So, and because you are writing using Python and is also a class case sensitive, class edit. Here I want to change my environmental setup so that you can see properly. Class conversion. Conversion followed by colon. Here I am writing my conversion class. There I will write my methods. First of all, I told you you have to define a init method because that is acting like a constructor. So how to define? Write def underscore underscore init underscore underscore, because here you have to pass the first parameter is what? Self. Because whenever you are writing an object in programming in Python, you should write the self keyword followed by the capacity. This is nothing but the total length of the expression. Now, and I told you whenever you are using this infix to postfix conversion, you are taking the help of the stack. So for stack, there is an indicator called top. So I will define one top variable, self.top, because it is my object variable. So I should write self.top equal to -1. -1 indicates that still it has not yet started. It is still in the bottom. Next, self.capacity equal to whatever the value you are passing. This is my parameters. So this parameter is assigned to this value. As well as to define a stack, you are taking help of a list. So I write here self dot one array. This array is named my stack. Of course, you can write even stack also. My array. It is initially empty list. So define a empty list. And finally, the output will come again in terms of a list. So I'll define self dot output equal to curly bracket. So initially both are empty. So define this. As well as I told you, you have to maintain the precedency operator. Means which operator having highest priority, which having lowest priority, everything should be mentioned in the list. So define one dictionary self dot precedency PRECEDNC equal to, here you are mentioning through a dictionary, means key value pair, which operator having what priority. So initially I will mention plus operator, because you know plus and minus having same priority. So plus colon 1, it indicates that plus having priority 1, comma double single quote minus colon 1. Why I am writing 1? Because plus and minus having same priority. That's a 1. Next, comma star as well as division having same priority. So I will assign 2. Similarly, this division colon 2. But exponential operator I am going to use in my program. There I will mention the cap symbol. Of course, you may ask, so why not dollar symbol? You can use, that is our wish. So generally, cap symbol is used for exponential representation. So this I will mention 3. If at all you are using some other operator, then you can mention also. Of course, for arithmetic expression, these 5 operators are essential. That is more than enough. So my precedency declaration details are over. Next, a regular method, you are checking always whether your stack is empty or not. So I will define another method called def is empty. Is empty. Is empty is what? It is my member method. So if you want to make this as a member method, then you should write the self keyword. So self is method. Here I will check. What I have to check? Whether my stack is empty or not. Which is your stack here? This is my stack here. This is my stack. So I will write here comment. This is my stack. This is my stack variable. Okay. So here I will check whether my array is empty or not. I will put a condition. If self dot, because already I have mentioned variable top. If top is -1, my stack is empty. If top equal to -1, then here I will return true. Return true. Otherwise, return true. Else return false. So I'll write false. So this is my required conditions. Means I'm checking whether my stack is still empty or not. If it is empty, return true. If it is not empty, return false. So how will I know whether empty or not? By checking the top variable. Because top is the indicator which is changing. Whenever you are pushing, top is incrementing. Whenever popping, top is decrementing. So where exactly the top is there? If it is -1, completely empty, it indicates. That is the general notation. Next, I'll check, because there are two more standard operations we are doing. One is push, other one is pop. So whenever we are popping, so you have to remove the element from the stack. So I'll write a separate method called pop method. Before pop, first of all I'll check my top of the stack. What element exists in the top of the stack? So I'll write a method called peek. So just like pop, there is a method called peek. But in the peek, it will not remove the element. Just it will see what content is available. So I'll write a method called peek. Definition. Peek. Now you want to make this as your member method. So if you want to make this as a member method, then I will write my self keyword. Self. Here what I will do, whatever the element is available at the top of the stack, that I will return. So I'll return. So how to return the top of the stack? My stack is array. So self dot array of what I should write, because I want to get top of the element. Top of the element means I have to go in the reverse direction. So that means I should write here -1. So -1 indicates it is a top of the stack. So whatever the element available at the top, I will return that value. So that is the nature of the peek method. Then I will write my def pop method. Now pop also it is my member method. So here I should write my self, because if I write self, it is my member method of the class. Otherwise it is a normal method. Because in object-oriented programming you should write the self keyword. Here what I will do, whether it is empty or not. If it is empty, I will say nothing is there. Return some dollar symbol. It indicates everything is over, nothing is there. If it is not empty, then I should return top of the stack. If not, self dot is empty, is empty, is empty, is uppercase. So right here is empty. Now this method returns true or false. If it is not empty, then I'll self dot top minus equal to 1. That means I'm reducing this one because I'm popping. So whenever you're popping, top has to come down. So after coming down, then I should return the top element. Return I should return the top of the stack now. Self dot array of, because it is in my list. In the list there is a method called pop method. So I'll write pop. So this pop method will return the. Otherwise, If it is not empty, if it is not empty, do this. That means something is there. If it is empty, else here I will return my some special symbol. Return some double quotation dollar symbol. With that indicate that my operation is over, because in the stack nothing is there. That indicates. If it is not empty. In the Python, you should give a colon symbol at the end. Now, there is another method I should write, because while converting from infix to postfix, you have to check whether your incoming symbol is a operand or not, because the expression is a combination of operator and operands. So, I will write another method for checking whether it is operand or not. If it is operand, directly I will put into the output. So I'll write here def is operand. Is operand. Now is operand is what? This is also my member method. So I'll write here the self keyword followed by whatever the parameter you are passing or whatever the character you are passing, you have to check whether the given character is a operator or operand. So I'll pass one character ch. Here I will check whether it is operand or not. So how will I know? So I will put a is alpha or not. So return is alpha is a built-in method. This built-in method will give you true or false. So ch dot is alpha. Now this method returns my what? Either true or false. If it is true, it says that it is alphabet. If it is not true, it is operator. If it is operator, then I have to push into the stack. So this method will give you either true or false only. So this is my built-in method. And while pushing into the stack, I have to check incoming symbols or incoming operators priority is greater or not. If it is greater, directly push into the stack. If it is not greater, then I have to pop out. So for that, I should write a method called whether it is not greater or not. So I'll write another method called def not greater. And this method also I want to make this as a member method. So if it is a member method, then I should write self keyword. Self followed by my incoming operators I. So here what I have to do, I have to check whether incoming operators priority is more or less. If it is more, then I have to push in the stack. So how will I check whether more or not? For that already you wrote a precedency dictionary. So I'll refer this precedency dictionary, and then based on the output from the precedency dictionary, then I'll do my necessary action. Sometime you may give some wrong operator which is not available in the precedency table at all. I told you plus, minus, star, division and exponential. Only this 5. Other than this 5 if you give, then my system doesn't know what is the priority. So whenever such type of things come, it may generate some exception, some errors, runtime errors. So those runtime errors I have to handle. So for that I have to write try and except. So exception handling I should write. So to avoid this unknown operators. So I'll write here try keyword. Try. So in a try, I'll take my top, means A equal to self dot precedency of I, whatever the operator we are sending, that operator's precedency I want to know. Self dot precedence, DNC, whatever the name you have given. See here I have given PRECEDNC. The same name I should use. So I'll copy here. Control C. And here. Now based on this precedency of what? Precedency of my incoming operator, that is I. So I should know both incoming as well as top of the stack's precedence. So how will I know top element of the stack? I wrote there is a method called peak. So the peak method will give you the top element of the stack. For that element's precedency again I have to find. So I will store in the B. So B equal to self dot precedency of, here I have to give the top element of the stack. So how to get the top element? There is a method called peek method. So I can call self dot peek. This peek method will give you the top of the stack. So for that operator, what precedency comes, that will store in B. Now here I got what? A as well as B. Now I will check whether A is less than B or not. If A is less than B, less than or equal to B, then I will return true. That means A is what? My incoming operator. Incoming operator's priority is more. Then I will return true. Else. Otherwise, return false. Return false. So that means I am checking what is my operator. If at all A and B are in a proper operators. If incoming operator is not available in my dictionary, incoming operator is not available in my dictionary, it will throw some exception. So whenever exception comes, I should catch it. So except. So I have to handle any special key error. So I'll write my key error. If at all this error comes, then I'll check what I have to do, because it is not a valid one. So I'll return false itself. So return false, because I have to handle all kinds of operators. Now this method checks what is the incoming operator and what is the priority, whether priority is less or more. So now this method I am going to use in future. Now the main one comes how to convert infix to postfix. There I will use all these methods. So I'll write a method called def infix to postfix method. I'll write infix to postfix. This is my own method. This is not a built-in one. And this method you want to make this as a also member method. So you should write the self keyword, self, followed by whatever the expression you are giving, infix expression. So you pass that expression exp. Here every member or every symbol of the expression you have to check whether it's operator or operand. So for that you have to write a loop. So put a loop for I in expression for every I of the expression. I means what? It can be operator or it can be a operands. So I is a symbol. The symbol may be operator or operand. So here I will check whether it is operand or not. How will I check operand? And I told you there is a method called self dot is operand. Is operand. Oh, I think I wrote uppercase. Operand of the incoming symbol I. So this method returns what? Either true or false. If it is true, directly I will push into the, means I will put in the output string. So output dot append that symbol I. But how to call output? So I should call through the self. So I should write here self dot, because it's my member method, self dot this, self dot output dot append. Now whatever the operator means symbol you are passing, if it is true, then it will put in the output. If it is not the symbol, means operand, then it can be what? It may be either open parenthesis or close parenthesis also. But open parenthesis and close parenthesis you have not mentioned there in the precedency. So it is also special type operator. But for that there is no precedency level 1, 2, 3. That value is not mentioned. So that's why I have to handle carefully separately. So here I will write here else if the incoming symbol equal to my open parenthesis. If it is open parenthesis, what I have to do? Simply directly push in the stack. So I will call self dot push the I. Self dot push the I. If it is open parenthesis, else there may be another chance. Else if I equal to this close parenthesis. Sometimes you may pass this close parenthesis also. So whenever this close parenthesis comes, what you have to do? For that you have to pop it. You have to pop. How long you have to pop? Until the corresponding open parenthesis comes. So you have to write a loop. So put a loop while not self dot is empty until it's not empty. Not empty. If it is not empty, then you can keep on calling and self dot peak, because you have to take the top of the element, I mean top of the stack also. Self dot peak. This method will give you the top of the stack. If self dot peak not equal to the corresponding closing, means opening parenthesis. So this condition you have to check until not empty or until not equal to this. Whichever is true, that will continue. Now whenever this condition is true, it will go inside. Now you have to pop it. So self dot pop, because you have to pop from the stack. Now you will get what? The corresponding operator from the top of the stack. Whatever the element you are popping out from the stack, that you have to put in the output. So self dot output. Self dot output append A. Whatever the. Now this will continue till end. Now you repeat one by one. If it is not empty, then continue this. Now whenever the loop is over, it will come out. Check whether it is empty or not. If not self is empty, because you have to check the remaining also, and self dot peak not equal to this. Return -1. Else self dot pop. Okay. Else while, because the remaining element at the end, still there may be some elements in the stack. So those elements you have to pop out. While not self dot is empty and self dot self dot not greater of I now you have to check both, and if it is not greater, pop out and put in the output. Self dot output dot append self dot pop. Now pop out and put into this, and whatever the element you are pushing, and finally self dot push the I, because you would finally have to push that corresponding symbol. And when the complete loop is over, that says that the complete expression is over. So finally put a loop while not self is empty is empty self dot output dot append self dot pop. Now you have to pop one by one. Okay. You are taking every element from the stack and putting to the output. And when the complete loop is over, you have to join it because it has to look like a single string. So print null string dot join method I can call. There is in Python there is a method called join. Join what? The output. Self dot output. Because this is the data is available in terms of list. Those list element you have to join it. Join it is a single string. And finally, you have to call through this method. So let me take one expression. Expression equal to a plus b star c. This is my given expression. And I will create an object. Object of what? Object my class called conversion. Conversion class object I have created. And after creating object, then I will call my obj dot. My method name is infix to postfix. And this infix to postfix takes one parameter, that is my expression. This expression is in terms of infix form. So pass this one, Control S, infix to postfix, infix to postfix. Then I'll run invalid. There is invalid syntax because after else there must be a colon symbol. So right here colon symbol. Control S F5. Yeah. The name conversion is not defined. So I think I have given uppercase. So you must be very careful. It is a case sensitive. Yeah. Conversion. This is a method name of the class. So while creating object also you should give the same name. So I should give same name. Now you can see how you can see the output. Please observe here. Yeah, you got the output. This is my respective postfix expression. Here I can display the message also. This message I can write infix to postfix expression. Here I'll put a message. My output printf print my postfix expression. Postfix expression. Okay. So you must be very careful while indentation. Control S F5. Yeah. So I got this output. If at all you want to change also, you can change. For example, I may change to my own expression. Here I will give this expression. This I will put comment. Okay. Because whether it is working or not, we'll see. F5. Yes. Okay. Now you see, my input was A plus B into C. So the output is ABC star plus. Okay. So this way you can get the output. Of course, if you want, you can read the data dynamically also. You can put a message input. Instead of making static, you can make dynamically also. Hash means input, enter expression. Input, enter infix expression. Infix expression. Okay. When this message comes, you have to enter it. That value, let me store in EXP. that exp I will pass as a parameter to my conversion, because here I am passing this input to this my infix to postfix expression. Automatically the respective output will get. Now let us do. I am putting that comment down. F5. Yeah, enter the infix expression. Assume A plus B division C. So A plus B division C. So this is my infix. So my postfix expression is ABC division plus, because division having high priority, so it comes first, and plus having low priority, it came next. So this is the way you can execute. So you must be very careful while giving the intent. So you must see here, whenever the close parenthesis comes, you have to write up to this. So this is keep on checking whether it is close parenthesis or not. If it is close parenthesis, comes here until not empty. If it is not empty, keep on popping and appending, popping and appending. If it is empty and my selected peak is open parenthesis, then return -1. Else pop it. Okay. So you must be very careful for this type of input, because your Python is completely indented dependency. So you have to indent the code properly. I hope it is clear. So finally you can see now once again F5. Assume my infix expression is A plus B plus C. That means both operators have same priority. So my answer is AB plus C plus. Of course, you can get ABC plus plus also. But here, as and when I am coming, if it is high priority, I am inserting. That's why I am getting this output. So this is also incorrect postfix expression. Okay. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.